Hello, mamas, and welcome back to another episode of Motherhood is Ghetto. My name is Joy, and I hope all of you guys' new year is off to a great start. Um, it is Sunday. We are 8 days into the new year. Um, I know for me, I had a pretty good new year. Me and my kids went out to California on New Year's Eve to go visit with my dad because New Year's Eve is my dad's birthday. So I wanted to spend the day with him on his birthday. So we took a little mini road trip to Bakersfield because my dad lives in Southern California. So we took a little mini road trip to Bakersfield to go spend the day at my uncle and my aunt's house, which was lovely. We had a great time up there. And then we drove back to where our hotel was near the airport. And then on New Year's Day, I took my kids to SeaWorld, and it was all of our first time going to SeaWorld. Can you imagine? I was born and raised in Southern California and had never been to SeaWorld. So that was an experience. It was pretty fun for the kids. They really enjoyed it. Um, and we saw the dolphin show there. And my son Solomon really enjoyed it. The SeaWorld trip was for his birthday. He had just turned 10 on January 3rd. So the SeaWorld trip was mainly for his birthday. Um, and yeah, they had a pretty good time. I had a good time. And I decided to take a plane out there with them because one, I didn't want to drive. I didn't feel like driving, getting caught out in traffic, New Year's traffic and stuff. And then two, my children, Solomon, my 10-year-old, he hadn't been on a plane yet before. My other two kids had, but just when they were really young. So I wanted to give him that experience. It was a quick 30-minute flight, something to just get him, in that, just now he knows what to expect when flying on an airplane. And because he's autistic, I wanted him to have that experience, know what it was like. And I wanted to see too if that's something that we can continue to do in the future or if it would be just too much for him. But he handled it pretty well. I ended up buying him some of those earmuffs like that people use like when they're cutting wood or they're mowing lawns, so that way it kind of dulls the noise. So we used that on the way going, and it seemed to, well, he was still a little bit anxious and nervous, but it worked fine. We made it without any outbursts or nothing like that. And but on the way home, he had left his earmuffs at my dad's house. So on the way home, he didn't have them. So he just kind of sat with his hands over his ears the whole flight home. But it was still fine. Like, he was calm, he wasn't screaming or yelling or anything like that. So that was good. So I would say the trip in a nutshell was a success. So that's how we spent our new year. And yeah, the kids are back at school now. We're back to our little routine that we had before the winter break. So yeah, our new year is off to a pretty good start. Again, I hope you guys' new year is off to a good start too. I'm happy to be back. I took a little break for the holidays so I could focus on my kids, get some goals centered around the new year, all that good stuff. So I was able to do all that. So, and then even when we were on the trip to SeaWorld, I lost my phone and I was out without a phone for I lost my phone on January 1st and I didn't get a new one until this past Wednesday. So and then that whole time, I wasn't on any social media. I wasn't getting any notifications. I wasn't getting any calls. And that was actually kind of nice, y'all. Have y'all ever just like put y'all phone away for an extended amount of time and not fuck with it? Like, I felt so liberated and like a weight was lifted off me. And I don't know why, like I felt that way, but it was kind of like a feeling like of out of sight, out of mind. So, and then I do have other devices. I have my laptop and I have my iPad, but I don't have any social media on those devices. These devices I use strictly for my business and my podcasting. So those, I don't have any distractions like social media. I don't have contacts like ways to reach people and stuff like that on my iPad and my laptop. And my iPad's not even connected to my phone at all, period. It's a whole different iCloud, Apple ID, because I didn't want, when I got text messages on my phone, I didn't want it to come to my iPad. I didn't want to mix the personal with the business. So it was kind of nice not having a phone and just being like in the moment, like in living life, like without that phone attached to me. So it was pretty cool. So I'm hoping to keep that up, like just have some days, and I have like some days I just put the phone down and just do other things in the house, like, go read or something like that, or just hang out with the kids. So I highly recommend, if you haven't done that, to do it because it's very liberating. But anywho, we're going to get started with the episode. Again, thank you for joining me. Thank you, 2023. Motherhood is Ghetto. Let's get it. So, we are going to open up with the motherhood quote of the day, because we haven't done a motherhood quote of the day in a minute. So this quote that I have here reads, "Motherhood is wonderful, but it's also hard work. It's the logistics more than anything. You discover you have reserves of energy you didn't know you had." Bars. I will share a quick story with you guys. So this Christmas, I decided, well, not decided, because my youngest son, he's 8 years old. He'll be 9 this year. He was telling my husband before he passed away that he wanted a gaming PC. So he wanted a gaming computer because he wanted to be a YouTube gamer. Like he really wanted to, start like with the whole streaming and, doing commentary over the games and stuff at 8 years old. So what he wants to do. So my husband had told him, like we can, let me talk to your mom and we can get you one for Christmas for sure. Like if you're serious about it. So when my husband passed away, my son was asking me, can I get dad's computer? Can I get dad's computer? And my husband was using his computer for music and recording and stuff. And I already knew that, one, his computer wasn't equipped for what my son needed it for. And two, I couldn't get into it because I didn't know the password. I mean, I could have probably tried some things and got into it, but I didn't want to do that because I already knew it wasn't going to work for what he needed. And three, there's, my husband has lots of music on there, lots of recordings and stuff. So I didn't want to mess with it. And I just knew it wasn't going to be good for what he needed. So I decided, I was like, well, I got to do this for him. What can I do? So I ended up getting him everything he needed to get, to set up a gaming PC. So I went to Best Buy. I got all the things, got him the headset, keyboard, mouse, the motherboard, all that stuff. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not tech savvy by any means. Like, this is the most I can do. This podcast. And if you go to my website, where I sell my hair wraps, like, that's the most your girl can do. I can set up a presentation, like a PowerPoint. I can work in Canva. I can do like some editing on some photos. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really tech savvy like that where I can put together a computer, make it work, like download all the things. Like, that's not my wheelhouse. That was really my husband's wheelhouse. And I was like, but I got to make it happen for him by any means, because this is something that my husband, had an agreement with our son. So I had to see it through. So I got all the things on Christmas morning. He opened his stuff and he was like, "Oh, cool, I got this." He's like, "Come on, mom, let's put it together. Like, let's get it popping." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this part. We got to put this shit together." But I would say that, like, going back to the quote, like, as a mother, you do whatever it takes. Like, whatever it takes for your kids, whatever they need, whatever it's going to take to, get it done for them, you find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you dig within the depths of your soul to make a way for those babies. And that's how I felt. Like, I had to tap in on reserves that, like, I didn't even know that I had. Like, I was so tired on Christmas Day, y'all, putting stuff together and making stuff work and troubleshooting and all this stuff, and I was exhausted. I was like, I'm tired. But we ended up getting it together, and it's working by the grace of the ancestors and the grace of God. Like, it's all working, and he's gaming and he's playing and he's happy. So I don't know where, like, I was just researching everything I could. We were Googling everything, like, just to make sure that it was set up okay, and we got it. So bars on that motherhood quote of the day, because I definitely agree with that. So anywho, moving on to today's episode. So I was actually on Instagram one day, and I came across a post. The post is from First Time Mom Support. And I was just scrolling randomly, like, and it just came up. And I wanted to share this with you guys. It's what kids/teens shared with their therapist. So it's 10, I think it's 9 or 10 different things that kids, ranging, I think, from the age of like 6 to 16 or something like that, shared with therapists. So I just wanted to read some of these things off and see, like, maybe we can discuss it. If it resonates with you guys, maybe these are some things that you're doing that the kids may not, agree with, but they don't say anything. But some of these responses from the kids, like, kind of, made me sit back and think. So I wanted to share it on the episode today. So again, this is what teens shared with their therapist. So this first thing is from a 6-year-old, and this 6-year-old says, "I wish I was as important as their phone." Now, we all know we live in the age of technology, and the phones, the electronics and stuff, like, they rule over our lives, especially our children's lives, but mostly our lives as adults. Now, this is coming from a 6-year-old. And with the mental capacity, well, let me not even say mental capacity, because kids are hella smart, and they're hella aware of exactly what's going on. Like, it may not seem like it, but they know, they hear, they see everything. So for a 6-year-old to know that they're not as important as their parents' phone, that's deep. That's really deep. And going back to what I was talking about earlier with me losing my phone and being without a phone for like that 4 days, like, I felt it to be so liberating, and I had time, to do other things, because I wasn't, scrolling like a zombie through my phone, or, looking at other people's, lives on a screen. Like, I was really immersed in my life and what I was doing and who, the people around me. And that's why I said, like, if you have a chance to just put your phone away, like, even if it's for a few hours, like, and not pick it up, not look at it or anything like that. Like, not sleep and then wake up, but like really be like awake and away from your phone. Like, you never know what good that can bring. And you never know, like, how much your children might even appreciate that. Even if you do it a couple times a week or try to make it a point every day, like to have time away from phone, electronics, all the distractions, and just focus on your kids, like that's huge. And I think that that's really important. And like I said, because I run my business off of my phone, like, like I answer customer emails and stuff on my phone. I do, editing, posting for the podcast on the Instagram on my phone. Like, so I could be guilty of that too sometimes, just like being fully immersed in what's on the screen and not paying attention to my kids. So that's why I took that time at the end of the year, and, I didn't do social media and stuff like that at the end of the year. I really wanted to just focus on the kids. So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting. I was like, wow, at 6 years old, they know that they're not as important as their parents' phone. This next one is from a 10-year-old. And they say, I wish parents wouldn't say bad stuff about each other to me. It makes me angry. Who is out here doing that? If you are out here doing that, stop it. Stop it right now, because the kids don't need to be in the middle of whatever beef you got going on with the other parent. I know as moms, especially with single moms, single Black mothers, we got that, that baby daddy thing. And sometimes you want to be real with your kids, like if the baby daddy isn't stepping up, or, broken promises have to be addressed, and like that all falls on you. Or even if, I don't know if there's any dads that listen to this podcast, but it could go either way. We got deadbeat daddies and we got deadbeat mommies out here, just to keep it 100. But that's one thing I've always been against, is down talking or saying bad things about, my partner to the kids, because no one's perfect. There's not a perfect parent on this earth. And people are still growing and learning who they are. And I don't think that at a certain age, it's like, okay, by this age, you should know, who you are. You should be, settled in with your responsibilities, what you have to do. Like, I don't think that there's an age where you realize that there's an age of realization, because people are growing, and learning and evolving every day. So you might be with someone that's, a little like immature, or not taking care of their responsibilities, only looking out for themselves, don't really care about the kid in your perspective, in your eyes. Like they're not doing like as if you would. They're not putting forth the effort that you do. But I don't think that, even with that, even if you're dealing with a person like that and your child is suffering because of it, I don't think that it's right to say bad things or down talk the other parent to the kid. Now, you can have your opinions and your feelings because they're yours. That's the key right there. Like, those are your feelings towards that person. That's not the kid's feeling towards that person. Unless the kid comes up to you and says, like, I hate this dude, like he is just terrible, like, but no kid would ever say that, because it's like kids form their own opinions and they're able to do that without our help. So anything that my kids felt about their dad was formed off of their own opinion and their own perception of the man that he was, the man that he displayed to them. And the same with me. Like they have their opinion of me based on what I've shown them, like, and that's all they've ever needed. So I don't think, like, and then, like I said, kids are smart. So they'll know growing up, like, oh, my mom was always there for me and provided for me, but my dad never was. And they'll form their own opinion around it about they'll form their own opinion around that person and treat them accordingly. They don't need our help for that. They don't need us saying, well, this motherfucker no good. He don't pay his child support on time. Like, he don't care about you. He don't take care of you. He don't take care. Like, they don't need to know all that. Those are your opinions. Let the kids, experience this and, form their own opinions of the situation. But yeah, that was from a 10-year-old. So the next one is from a 7-year-old. I wish parents knew that kids love them no matter what. Oh my goodness, little baby 7-year-old hit it right on the head. Like, going back to the other one, it doesn't even matter what you tell your kids about the other parent. Like I said, they're going to feel how they feel. Like, one thing that I've learned is that everybody, from the youngest person to the oldest person, we're all in control of our own lives. I can't control, what happens in my children's lives. Like, ultimately, it's up to them. It's the choices that they make. It's the decisions that they make going forward in their life that's going to dictate the kind of life that they have. So everybody is out here living their own life. So no matter what you do or anything like that, like, your kids are going to love you regardless. Like, with this podcast, I know I talk a lot about, not sweating the small stuff. Like, you're doing your best. Like, you're out here trying to take care of your children with whatever you have, partner or with no partner. Like, you're getting up every day for these kids and you're trying to raise them to be productive members of society. You're doing for them as much as you can with what you can. Like, that's something to be proud of. But I know a lot of parents who are like, well, damn, I wasn't able to do this for my kid. Like, I feel disappointed. It's like, no, you did what you could. Like, and they're going to love you for that. Like I said in the last episode, like, the time that you spend with your children and the time that you pour into them and the attention and the love is going to be worth way more than anything that you could buy them, or it's going to be more better than any experience you can give them. The experience of love is what matters. And the kids know that at a small age, at the young ages, they know that, like, love is what matters. They're going to love you regardless. So don't ever think that, what you do is going to affect how they feel about you. Like, kids don't know anything but to love. Kids are taught hate. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Like, but love is a universal thing. Like, we're born into love. Like, that's the universal love language is love. So, shout out to that little 7-year-old. Like, they understood. They understand. The next one is from a 9-year-old. My parents are always busy or on their phone. Why am I here? Makes me want to leave. Wow. Y'all, just the and this is from a 9-year-old. I'm gonna have a 9-year-old this year, and that hits for me. I don't want my baby to ever feel like that. I don't want none of my babies to feel like that. And one thing that I talk to my daughter a lot about this. I've said it to all my kids, but I talk to my daughter a lot about it, is, my corporate job. And I always tell her, like, there'll be some days where I'll be like, man, I don't feel like going to work. And she'll be like, well, then don't. She'll be like, just don't go to work. And I'm like, like, I'm in a position where, I'm, people need me. I have things that are required of me, so I just can't and then she'll say something like, but we need you. And it's not like she's lying. They do need me. And in her mind, no one needs me more than they do, my kids. And she's 100% right. So in her eyes, it's like, why are you putting them above us? We need you too. If you don't feel like going, then just don't go. And for her, like I had to sit back and be like, how does that make her feel, and all of them feel, when I get up, they see me get up, getting ready for work, knowing that I don't want to go to work, knowing I would rather be home with them, but still leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like, or, doing something, being busy on my computer or something, and one of them comes in my room to ask for help, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it right now, I'm busy. Like, I don't know if us as mothers often think like how that makes them feel. And especially if we do it often, like how that's making them feel. But for this little 9-year-old, it's making them feel like, why are they even here? Why did you even give birth to me? Why am I here if you're just going to ignore me and you're always busy and don't have any time for me? And again, that's just something that I don't want my kids to feel that way. So even before the new year, like I was, and even before my husband passed away, like I was like, you know what, like I'm here. Yeah, like I work and stuff and I do that for y'all, but whatever y'all need from me, like just say the word and like I'm here. Like I'm not gonna be too busy for you guys ever. And that's how I rolled into the new year too. It's like I'm never too busy for you guys. On the days where I'm just like, no, like I don't want to go to work. I don't want to deal with people. I just want to deal with my kids. I stay my ass home. Like, period. Like, because if I go to work and I start having a breakdown or something like that, like all they gonna do is tell me, go home, get some rest, Joy. Like, it's okay. Like, all you're gonna tell me to do is to go home, which is what I wanted to do anyways, but I forced myself to come into this place and now I'm here. So like I just stay home. And then too, I don't even, how sometimes when you're working or you got to go to a job and you don't feel like going to work, so we automatically think of excuses to tell our boss why we're not coming in, like, oh, we sick, or even though that may not be the case, we may just need a day, like we just don't feel like going to work, so we make up an excuse, to call out. But I was like, I'm telling the real. Like, I don't care how they feel because it's not them, it's me. So, I remember one day, like I woke up, it was a Monday, and I just could not. I could not. I woke up, to get ready for work, and I couldn't get up to take a shower, couldn't get up to find any clothes. And I was like, I can't today. I just can't. So I texted my manager. I was like, look, I'm not going to be able today. I just can't. I can't get it together. I'm feeling sad today. Like, I just want to be at home. I don't even want to work from home. Like, I don't want to do anything with work today. I just need another day. And hopefully wherever you work, like there is understanding is where I work. But I know some people don't have that luxury. But it's just important, like not only to take time for yourself because you're the most important person, but to take time for your kids too. Like we can't ever be too busy for our kids. To the point where they feel like this 9-year-old does. And I think as mothers, as parents, like we got to try to do better. Like we have to try for them. We have to, like, we don't have a choice. So this next one is from another 9-year-old. And they said, my mom is too busy. She said, she says, but she texts her friends all day. Why not tell me the truth? she is just avoiding me. Y'all, these babies, they miss us. These babies miss us. They just want our time. Like, time is so precious and so valuable. And it's something that once it's gone, we can't get it back. Like, we cannot get it back. And they're only going to be the ages that they are once in this life. Like, gosh, man, like, I don't know. Like, I know that I really do have a different perspective, on time. And it's like, God dang, like it's too precious. Our babies are too precious and we're losing time with them focused on the wrong things. I think that I don't know, like I think for that mother, if she were to look at her friend group, look at her inner circle and be like, okay, if I died tomorrow, which one of these friends would step up and stand in the gap for me, for my kids? Which one of these friends would, take my kids in or help to, help them grieve, or, if you leave behind a husband, like, or a wife, like, who's going to help them, pick up the pieces when I'm gone? I bet you if you thought about that and then looked at your friend list or, your contacts, like, you could rule out a lot of people because you know who you deal with. You know who your circle is. Like, and I just think that for this little baby, he or she understands that their mom is holding people up higher than them and won't talk to them, but will talk to the friends. Or won't spend time with them, but will spend time with the friends. And y'all, like, I'll say it again, like, y'all parents, mommies think that these kids don't be paying attention. They be paying attention. Like, and they see the writing on the wall clearer than what we see it as. Like, they don't have ego in it yet. They're still young and they're still very, very intuitive and in touch with their instincts. They feel it more than we do as adults because they don't know the mechanisms and stuff yet to block it out or to, ignore it like we do as adults. Like, they're still very much coming into their own and into their intuition. And y'all, we got to do better. Like, we got to do better. And if you're already, taking the steps to, spend more time with your kids and show them that they're a priority and nothing else, then kudos to you. Hats off to you. Like, you're doing the work. But some of us, we already know, like, we got work to do. Like, and that's not saying saying anything bad about you and your parenting, because again, we're not perfect, but there's just things like this and scenarios like this that kind of reel us back in. And it's like, yo, like, I can't have my baby out here like this. Like, we got work to do. So, all right, let's go to the next one. So this is from a 10-year-old. Taking away all that I love doesn't motivate me. It leaves me feeling hopeless. And sorry if you guys hear my kids in the background. It's Sunday, we're at home. So I really tried to get up early to record this podcast, but I wasn't feeling it. I had to get in the mood. And when I first wake up, I'm really not in the mood to record. So, but let me read it again real quick. Taking away all that I love doesn't motivate me. It leaves me feeling hopeless. And this is from a 10-year-old. So I know I'm assuming that they're talking about like punishment, like if they get grounded or something, the parent takes away all their electronics and stuff that they really love and enjoy doing. And it doesn't motivate them. It makes them feel hopeless. So I kind of understand that. Like, because yeah, I definitely understand that, because there have been times when, and I'm guilty of that too. I actually just did that shit yesterday. I told my son to put away his VR. because on his virtual little headset, you can talk to other people that are in the game, and he had said something inappropriate. So I told him to repeat himself because I didn't hear it all the way, but his brother did. And his brother was like, "Ooh, Solo, why'd you say that?" And I was like, "What did you say, Solo?" And he was hesitating to tell, like he didn't want to say what he said and stand in his shit and own up to what he said. So I was like, "Well, then put the VR away, because if you can't tell me what you said, if you can't stand in that shit, then you don't need to be playing that game." Like, because the game is making you, act out of turn. And if you can't be real with me and tell me what you said, like, and be, own up to it, then put the game away. So, like I said, I do that too sometimes. Like, I'll be like, "Well, put your phone away." You know what I'm saying? Like, or, don't touch your phone for the rest of the day. And I never thought of me doing that is making them feel hopeless. I never really, and I don't really do it to motivate them either. I just do it because I know that that's what's consuming their time. That's what, they're doing right at this second. That's making them either like with my son, it's making him, you know, use language that I don't prefer that he uses. Or it's making them like with my daughter, like sometimes she gets this little attitude, and like she's like just this little nasty attitude, and I'm like, you know what, like give me your phone, because you need to focus on family right now. Like we all we got right now, so I'm gonna need you to lose the attitude and focus. Like, so sometimes I'll take away her phone, but I I hate that this baby feels like this too. I guess like maybe their parents tell them like well, how about we just take away your computer so that way you can learn how to act right? Or I don't know, I'm getting the feeling, like, in the vibe, that that's the rhetoric that this baby is hearing, so it's making them feel hopeless. And I don't know, I think that there's better ways to discipline. I think that overall we just need to talk to our kids more. Like, we need to have real conversation, dialogue. Like, they're not too young, they're not too old. Like, let's just talk to our babies. Like, let's get to the root cause of the problem, like, and figure it out together. Like, there's not one solution that's gonna fix everything, but we can, at least we can try to identify what the issue is and then move forward. Like, the solution may not be to take away. Like, and in my case, like, maybe I shouldn't have took away his VR. Maybe I should have asked him, like, "Son, what makes you think that, what's making you feel like you need to say those things and talk like that?" Like, maybe I could have did better with that, and instead of taking his VR away, because with my son Solomon, with my 10-year-old, when I take stuff away from him, like, he gets really sad, and he's just sitting there, and he's not his, bubbly, cheerful self anymore. And I don't like that. Like, I don't like that. Like, so yesterday I ended up giving him back his VR and, telling him he could play again. But what I probably should have did was like, "Son, like, why are you saying things like this? Like, why are you talking like this? What's going on?" So I said, like, we're parents, like, we're not perfect. We fuck up sometimes. But I don't think that our kids should have to pay for that. So let's see. We got a few more, but we got time. We got time today. So this next one's from a 13-year-old. "Telling me that you are disappointed in me kills me. I didn't do what I did to hurt you. I was just learning." And this is from a 13-year-old. So I remember a conversation me and my husband had a while back, and it was regarding I think my daughter had did something. I can't remember exactly what she did. I think she oh, okay, I remember what she did. Okay, so her dad had some gum on the bed upstairs in our room. So he asked her to go upstairs and get something for him, unrelated to the gum. But when she went up there, she saw the gum and she helped herself to the gum. And I don't mean like she took one piece, like she took she took like half the pack of the gum. And then so I happened to see her chewing on something. And I said, "Genesis, what are you chewing on?" And she was like, "Gum." And I said, "Where did you get gum from?" And she was like, "In your room." And my husband was like, "My gum?" And she was like, "Yeah." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. What are you gonna do about it? And well, at first I think she lied about it. And she was like, she wouldn't say like where she got it from. Then she finally said like it was her dad's gum. And her dad was explaining to her, he was like, if you just tell me the truth, like, and just come out with it, like, it's cool. Like, I'm not gonna be mad. I'm never gonna be mad at you if you tell me the truth. He said, but I get disappointed when you lie to me. And he said, like, I'm disappointed that you lied to me and didn't tell me the truth. And she started busting out crying. When he said those words, like, I'm disappointed in you, like, she bust into tears. But all before that, she was fine. She was like, yeah, I got this gum. I'm not going to tell you where I got this gum from. But, and then when she finally did, she still was like, and because when he asked her, like, why'd you take it? She was like, I saw it and I wanted it. So I took it. Like, just very matter of factly. Like, that was how she was talking. But the minute he said, I'm disappointed that you lied to me, oh, it was all over. She was crying crocodile tears, like, Daddy. And so I get it. You know, I get what this 13-year-old, because like my daughter's even younger, and you know, she's just like, I see it, I like it, I want it. Like, that's how she is. So, you know, for a child to hear those words, I'm disappointed in you, like, it could have very extreme ramifications on either side of the spectrum. Like, either on, like, it can be like, oh shoot, I don't ever want to feel like this again, I'm going to get my shit together, I don't want my mom or my dad to ever say those words to me ever again. Like, or it could have the other extreme effect where it's like, well shit, I'm just a disappointment, I can't do anything right, why am I here, like, all that stuff. And like the 13-year-old said, like, they're just learning. Like, they're not perfect either. They're learning just like we are. They're trying to get it right. So that's why, again, like, communication and dialogue is so important. Like, let's talk to our babies. Like, let's find out why they're doing the things that they're doing and try to come up with a solution with them, not for them. Like, let's work together with our kids to help them grow, like, and help them get through whatever they're feeling, or help them learn whatever they're trying to learn. Like, it's so important. So, okay. So this is the second to the last one. This is from an 8-year-old. Punishment does not help me. It makes me feel even worse. It's the same thing. Like, these babies are all saying the same thing, but in a different way. I know for me, I don't punish too often. I can't even remember. I think the last kid that I even put, like, grounded was probably Genesis. Cause she always stayed doing some shit. And it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, you know, you're grounded, so no electronics. You can still do your art. You know what I'm saying? You could draw, you could paint, you could do all that stuff, but just you need a break from the electronics. But that was like a couple years ago. But yeah, punishment, and I don't know what type of punishment this 8-year-old is talking about, whether, you know, well, whatever the punishment may be, but I don't think punishment helps anybody. Like, I don't think that, I mean, when we get punished, like, does that make us better, like, as adults? Like, if we get, you know what I'm saying, like, if we do something at our job and we get fired as the punishment, like, does that really help us? Or does it make us feel bad? Like, I don't know. I always try to put myself in my kids' shoes, and it's like, how would I feel, or how did I feel when they were that age, when this happened to me, or if my parents did this to me, like, how would I feel? And I think that this 8-year-old's opinion is valid. Punishment doesn't help everybody. And that's why, again, I say it's important to communicate and talk with your kids. Like, ask them, like, what is going to help you to do better? Like, what can I do to help you be better? And they'll tell you. They will tell you. My son does it all the time. Like, when he has a meltdown at school or something and they call me and I have to go down there, I ask him, I'm like, son, is there anything I can do to help you feel better? Like, is there anything I can do, to help you get over what you're feeling right now? And he'll tell me exactly what he needs from me. And it might not fix all the problem, but at least from me, his mother, there's something that I can do for him. And then sometimes there's nothing I can do. He'll tell me straight up, he's like, there's nothing you can do for me right now. I just need to be alone, or something like that. And I respect that. I respect him. So it's just the conversations and the dialogues, like, just, we need more of them. Like, they're not too young, like, and they're not too old. So, all right. So this is the last one from a 13-year-old. And they say, stop telling me how you think I feel. You never asked me. You think you have all the answers. See, these kids are spitting bars on here. I'm so glad that I came across this post. Like, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. We all are living our own lives. Young, old, middle-aged. Like, we are all on. I don't want to get too spiritual, like, because I don't know, like, what y'all believe and what y'all faith are, if you're spiritual, religious, none of that, none of the above. I don't know. Maybe like we can do like other episodes, like if y'all are interested in like my views on spirituality, but I'll just say this real quick. Like, this life that we all living, like, we chose it. Like, we chose to live this life that we're living, and the choices that we make in this life is the blueprint for how our life is going to end up, or how, what things happen in our lives. That's what I believe. And me trying to dictate how my children feel and just being like, well, I know best. Like, I'm the adult, so I know how you feel. I know what you're thinking. So this is what we need to do. Like, that shit is out. Like, I don't know what my kids are thinking at any given time. Like, yeah, there are some things, like, you know how when sometimes we tell our kids, like, we not born yesterday. Like, I know you lying. Like, yeah, stuff like that. But I can't tell my kids how they feel. Like, and that really, really, really has been hitting home for me now more than ever, because I didn't know how my kids were going to take it when I had to tell them that their dad was going to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how they were going to feel. I didn't know how they were going to react. And I didn't even want to predict how they would feel or react, because I had no idea. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even know what to tell them. I was like I cried in the hospital, and I was like, what am I going to tell my babies? I kept saying that over and over and over. Like, what am I going to tell my babies? Like, but it's like with children, or with anybody, children, adults, whoever, like, you can't think for them. Like, you can't tell them how they feel and expect them to be like, oh, okay, well, I guess that's how I feel then. Like, no, like, that's trauma. That's a generational curse that needs to stop. Because we don't have all the answers. We don't have all the solutions. Like, we don't have a happy ending for everything. Like, we just don't know. So that's why talking about it is important. That's why asking those questions are important. Building a relationship with your children is important. Building a rapport with them is important. Like all that stuff goes together and they work hand in hand. So that way, when you do ask your children how they feel, you're not getting that resistance from them. Like if your child is 13 and you never asked them, how are you feeling or how are you doing today? And then one day you just walk in the room like, hey buddy, how you doing? How you feeling? They're gonna look at you like you got shit on your face and be like, why are you asking me that? And that's why most of us get some of that resistance. It's like, because we never asked the question before. And they're 13 now. For the last 13 years, they've been, looking at you as like, you don't know how I feel. You don't even ask me. Like, what? Like, so it's like we gotta start talking with our kids and we gotta start building that connection, the relationship. Just because we gave birth to them doesn't mean we have a relationship with them. Like that's something that has to be a relationship. Is something that has to be worked on. Like it's a labor of love. It's a job. Like, and you got to put time into it and effort, just like any other relationship. Like you want that man, like you see that man, like you want to be his girl, like you put effort into it, right? You build a relationship, you talk, you get to know, you ask questions. Like, I don't know, like it's going through these things, it's like, it's eye opening and it makes you think like, well, damn, what if my kids feel like this? Like, or I do some of these things, like, how is it making them feel? And that's okay, like if you're having that realization. But the next step is, okay, what are we going to do to fix it? What are we going to do to be better going forward? And that's the most important thing, is recognizing, that we may have a problem, we may have an issue, and then working with our children to fix it. Talk to them. We don't have all the answers, and we won't ever know exactly how to be the perfect parent because it doesn't exist. So all we can do is our best and do what we can, but we have to involve our children in the act of raising them because it's them. Like this is their life. They didn't ask, well, I'm not going to say they didn't ask to be here because like I just said, like I feel like we all chose to be here. Like we all chose this life that we're currently living, but the choice is what, makes it what it is, makes our life what it is. But it's up to like, it's just like trying to learn how to fly a plane, but you don't want to learn from the experts. Like you just want to figure it out on your own. And it's like, but how can you do that? You can't fly a plane. And it's just like raising a child. Like, how are you going to raise a child to the best of your ability if you don't ever talk to them and see how they feel and what they respond to in a positive way or what they respond to in a negative way? Like, how would you know if you don't? How would you know if you don't ask them and conversate with them? This was really good. I'm so glad I came across this post. Again, I found it on Instagram from First Time Mom Support. So if you ever want to check out that page, they have like really good like tips for new moms, tips for parenting, all that stuff. Got some reels and stuff with some videos and whatnot. And it just, I'm really glad I stumbled upon it. And I wanted to do an episode on it because I felt it was really important to go through some of these topics because, like I said, I'm guilty of some of this stuff too. And it just is like it's just kind of like an eye-opening thing for me. It's like, okay, I still got some work to do. I can be better. I feel that I'm a great mom, but I know I can always be better. And that's okay. Like we all like, what I'm saying? We're all doing our best out here with the knowledge that we have. You know what I'm saying? So, and it doesn't hurt to gain more knowledge. So with that, mamas, I'm going to go ahead and land the plane here. Thank you so much for rocking with me today during this episode. I appreciate you. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at motherhood_is ghetto. And until next time, mamas.